There's something magical about playing a video game that truly grips you. Games that change the way you view the medium and leave you wanting more. But most games are unable to elicit that response. They can get close, but they won't ever reach those heights. Today, I want to talk about something else a game can give us. I want to show my appreciation for my comfort games. Games that are always there for me when I need them. Games that may or may not be critically acclaimed titles, but they all perform a specific function, and that is giving me solace when I need it. Kingdom Hearts 1. Originally a 2002 PS2 game, the game was remastered and re-released on PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. This title created an original world that combined popular Disney IP at the time with well-known Final Fantasy characters. You play as a boy named Sora who, along with his friends Riku and Kairi, are building a raft to visit what lies beyond their tiny island. One night, the world is under attack by creatures called the Heartless. Sora runs out to save the raft, but he gets cornered by Heartless. Magical weapon, Keyblade, comes to him, and he's able to fight them off. Though unfortunately, his world is swallowed by darkness, and he is whisked away to another world, separated from everyone he knew. This is where the nostalgia kicks in for me. The first world you visit, the one that becomes a hub world you return to throughout your journey, is Traverse Town. It's a fictional place made up just for this game, and that's partly what draws me to it. But more importantly, it's the main music of that town. Sound always has a powerful effect on our memories, being able to draw out thoughts and feelings that we haven't had in years. This music sends me back to being 10 years old again, discovering what made me love the game so much. The music is a reminder that the journey is starting again, and there's a bit of safety in that. Throughout the years, no matter what, I could go back to this game, to Traverse Town, and be met with the same music. I savor my time here, because I know once I leave, I'm truly starting my journey. So before that happens, I want to appreciate the moment. Unlike our actual lives, in games you can replay any part that brings you joy, and that's very comforting to me. Not all comfort games are about a trip down memory lane. Sometimes they're games you play when you just want to shut off your brain. For me, the game I go to is Lawn Mowing Simulator. You may be thinking, this guy is insane for loving a game where all you do is cut lawns. And honestly, you'd be right. But that won't stop me from booting up this game to smell the fresh cut retro grass. Lawn Mowing Simulator, as most simulator games, is exactly what the title indicates. You have a career mode in a game where you make a character, a business, and try to build up your landscaping empire. Here's where I pretend I'm a 42-year-old Chinese immigrant new to the London suburbs, fulfilling my dream of owning my own business. A business where I have solitude away from the world and can listen to all my guilty pleasures. By any means. It's not a complicated process to cut a lawn. You take out your mower, set the cutting length, and you're on your way. But the game does stop you from going a bit too fast, and that's something I love about it. When I get on my mower and ride through a lawn, the next 40 minutes is just time to drift off. It's not about finishing quickly or doing certain tricks. It's just going slow, steady, and paying a little bit of attention to where you're going. A game that may not seem like a comfort game to most, but very much is one for me, is the game Emily is Away. Emily is Away is a short but bittersweet PC game that puts you in the position of a teenager who is friends with a girl named Emily. You're both about to graduate high school and go off to different colleges. You never actually see Emily. Instead, you interact with her solely through AIM, AOL's Instant Messenger, a program that was popular in the late 90s through the late 2000s. During a time where the internet felt like a novelty, before we had cell phones and weren't always online, if you were a teenager or in college during this time period, you instantly get a rush of nostalgia. The feeling you get is due to the wonderful execution of the art design, the sound design, and the little details of your own screen name and away message. With simple tricks, this game helped you connect with that younger self of yours. You have a few choices on how to initiate combos or respond to Emily, and these choices impact how your relationship with her progresses. You have multiple different avenues to play this game, and when you look up online, on message boards or Reddit, you see people asking for the best ending. And for many, the best ending is to be a complete dick to Emily, because then you never get into anything messy. You can never feel jerked around, or blamed for a hookup, or miss out on a potential girl at school. But really, even that ending doesn't give you anything. You're left with her not talking to you, and basically a what if from the character's perspective. The beauty of this game is that you don't get the girl, and that is the true best ending. See, in most people's eyes, the best ending is the one where you don't get hurt. But with young love, you almost always get hurt. And there's something poetic about a game that allows you to go through a mini experience of that. When you're young, you go after the wrong person, say the wrong things, and they say and do the wrong things. You may be wondering, then why is this a comfort game for me? Well, just like a sad movie can hit the spot, there's something beautiful in a game that attempts to mimic real life, even if it doesn't do it perfectly. Young love doesn't often last. Sometimes you have no control over whether things go your way or not. There's something comforting about revisiting the heartbreaks of your youth. Something nice about going through that game and reflecting on yourself at 18, 19 years old, what you thought about yourself or your romantic interest at the time, and then looking at where you are now and how much you grew. One thing I will never outgrow, though, is my love for pro wrestling.
K-Love Spy. Poontang.
I'm going at it! What? It's here!
That son of a bitch! Why, Triple H? You son of a bitch! Why? Tell me why! Damn Triple H! Damn his soul!
Even if I don't watch it as much as I used to, I will always love the storytelling, the characters, and of course, the video games. I was 5 years old when I played WCW vs. NWO Revenge on the N64. I was addicted to it. At the time, it seemed mind-blowing to be able to do all the things you could. Something as basic as changing the colors of the wrestlers' attires, that's the thing. Through the years, I played plenty of wrestling games. Simpsons Wrestling, SmackDown Know Your Role, Here Comes the Pain, Fire Pro Wrestling, SmackDown vs. Raw series, and countless installments of WWE games that came after. Wrestling games allow for so much creativity and expression. Before you could download created wrestlers, you had to rely on forums and users who would sometimes write pages of info on how to create certain stars. I remember in the mid-2000s using the website cause.ws. I'd spend hours looking for wrestlers, writing all it down, and then customizing every part of these wrestlers in the game. Their appearance, attire, moveset, entrance, even crowd size. The beauty of making creative wrestlers, or cause for short, was that it was all about what you wanted to do, what story you wanted to tell. What draws people to wrestling is not just the athleticism of the moves, but the memorable characters and the stories they tell. In a video game, you can combine different eras or different companies' stars to make up your own story. Later entries even added the ability to create your own in-game storyline. And if you wanted to go in the exact opposite route of dream matches, you can do that too. I want to highlight something that's probably been lost to time, but I used to love watching YouTube videos of people making up their own call federation. One of my favorites was SMF. Its production values don't hold up, but for the PS2 era, I'd say it's pretty impressive, given how it wasn't exactly easy to pull it off.
Jerry, you better call something down the middle. I'm gonna punch you in the face. You shit screamer, fat to left, son of a bitch.
Push his balls! Push his balls!
This to me is peak weird internet from the 2000s. Before YouTube was full of high quality content, and it was easy to stream or edit your gameplay, this stuff existed. It's wacky and off the walls, and frankly, pretty dumb. Look at how absurd it all is. That's what makes playing various wrestling games so comforting. It's the fact that anyone can create anything they want. I can put any two people against each other, or come up with any story my imagination conjures up. While not every entry is equal, every few years I can buy a new installment and discover the same creative joy that was sparked decades ago.
Not for long, but long enough to write the song. Right or wrong, I'm a product of a battle zone.
Hello, sports fans. I'm Tony Bruno, your charming host. We've got all kinds of things to discuss on today's program. Don't you even think about moving from the spot you're in right now, because we have news and fun coming up. Stay tuned.
Madden is another annualized franchise that brings me comfort. Well, at least it did during the 2000s. There's always something nice about playing those games every summer with your friends before you went back to school. You were at the tail end of summer, awaiting a new school year to begin. But these last few weeks were yours to do whatever you wanted. And for me, that was playing franchise mode deep into the night. The fresh start of training camp and doing drills with your players before the season started was definitely my favorite part. The music, the sound effects, the gameplay loop, it's all just so terrific.
Sometimes life can keep me down with your face all in the dirt. But if you feel that left behind, need to get up and go to church.
Before you knew, eventually you and your friend would be going head to head in a season-defining matchup. For now, you could just enjoy a brief minigame with some of the latest hits that would stick in your head forever. And if you and 3 friends got together, you could play as an entire division, making games matter more and giving you a chance to spectate with some stakes involved for yourself. Unfortunately, the newer ones just don't have the same magic. Franchise mode doesn't get the same love it used to. The online franchise mode is honestly complete trash. And that's sad, because those were the moments that I really bonded with friends over, and I wish they could bring back a deep and fulfilling franchise mode. Comfort games vary from person to person. Today, I just wanted to share a few of mine. While I have many more, these are some that stand out to me. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to read about your comfort games in the comments.